Hey guys, Andy here, and welcome to my Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX any % speedrun in 5 minutes and 53 seconds. The aim of the run is to get to the ending of the game by any means necessary, and to do that I'll be exploiting a glitch known as the Doghouse glitch, which you'll see in a few minutes. The first thing I need to do is get Link's shield back, so I hop out of bed and speak to Tarin. He'll give me the shield after I mash the B button to get through the text, and then I can leave the house to begin our short adventure. And believe me, it's a very short adventure. Thanks to the Doghouse glitch, I'll be cutting out about 95% of the game, which is quite a lot. Now, the early section of the run requires me to get the sword down by the beach, so that's the first place I'll be heading to. There's the Doghouse where I'll be executing the major glitch of the run, but there's a couple of items I need first, namely the sword and also the bow. This part of the run is very straightforward, moving across multiple screens quickly to get to the beach. These Octorocks and their movements are random, so it's possible to take damage from them if they're in the wrong spot. And here's why I needed the shield to move these sea urchins to progress. Here's the first minor glitch of the run called Quicksword. If you run to the right along the edge of the sea whilst holding the B button to use Link's shield, you'll see that Link moves slightly during the cutscene. If you continue holding right while mashing B through the text, you can grab the sword before the cutscene is completely over. It's a very minor glitch that saves a few frames, which is always helpful. Okay, so now I have Link's sword back, I can save and quit the game and then reopen the current file, and that should place me back at the house. The next thing I need is the bow, which I'll be stealing from the shop. But before we can get the bow to appear at the shop, I need to steal the shovel. Remember kids, stealing is wrong, but it's quicker than getting the 200 rupees, so what are you gonna do? If you stand above the shopkeeper, he'll look away from the door on either a 32 frame or a 96 frame cycle. I need him to look this way for 96 frames so I can leave the shop without him catching me. Once I go back in the shop, I'll basically get killed for stealing the shovel, which seems harsh, but this will refill my health once I save and continue, so it's actually helpful. So now the bow will appear and I can steal it to carry on with the run. The bow is the only item I really need to complete the run, so that's why I need to steal it. And I do this in exactly the same way as stealing the shovel. You think this guy would learn, right? Anyway, now I have the bow, I need to head back down towards the beach to do a little bit of setup for the Doghouse glitch. I need to kill 2 enemies, in this case 2 Octorocks, to set a value in the game's memory for where the Doghouse glitch will send us. There are variants of this glitch where killing 4 Octorocks for instance will send you to a completely different part of the game. But for this run in particular, I only need to kill 2 enemies. Once that's set up, I need to head to the Doghouse to perform the most broken glitch of the game. Basically, by clipping into the top of the Doghouse and then moving down and left, the game will send me to a glitched version of all the dungeon maps. From here, by moving in a very specific way, I can reach the final boss room. Now clearly, this isn't intended and everything looks very broken, and moving in the wrong direction at some points will softlock the game, essentially killing the run. Anyway, once I get to the final boss room, here's the second minor glitch of the run called the Blob Quick Kill. Now some of you will have realised I don't actually have the powder I'd need to end this first phase of the boss. But by timing a spin and then slashing Link's sword upwards at the correct time, I can end the first phase of the fight quicker than intended. This quick kill has a very small amount of frames for success, but once you know the timing, it's fairly simple to get consistently. And then it's on to the second phase. This is basically the same Aghanim fight from A Link to the Past. During this phase, there are 2 types of attacks, one you can deflect, yellow balls, and the one you can take damage from, which we call blue balls. Now ideally you'd want to have no blue balls, as this will cost you time in the run, and also, seeing as you only have 3 hearts of health, you'll need every bit of it to make it through all 5 phases of this fight. The strat for this involves being as close as possible to deflect the yellow balls, but the downside of this is you have no idea what kind of attack is coming, so you can easily take damage. The cycles of attack take around 6 or 7 seconds, so I lost around 14 seconds in this phase because of blue balls. So that gives you some idea of how costly it can be. It takes 4 hits to end the second phase, and then it's time to get into position for phase 3. If you spin the moment Moldorm's face appears, you can stun it in place and then wail on it for 16 hits to end this phase quickly. So that's phase 3 down, and now onto phase 4. For this Ganon fight, due to my very small amount of health, I really need to avoid the bats that come flying at Link. Also, because I don't have the Pegasus boots, I'll need to spin slash Ganon to damage him, so I have to stay close to him to end this phase quickly. This is probably one of the most difficult phases of the fight because of how much health can potentially be lost if one of those bats hits you. This is also one of the lengthiest phases, as you need to hit Ganon 12 times in order for it to end. Then I'll want to be in position and ready to spin slash the small phase after Ganon before it begins moving around the room. And then it's the final phase, which is where I need the bow. The trick to this phase is keeping Deathel on the back wall. His position is controlled by Link's position, so by staying close to him, he'll always stay on the wall. Then it just becomes a case of moving back and forth to avoid the arms. When the eye opens, you're able to shoot as many as 4 arrows to damage him, but 3 is a more likely amount. The eye opening is random too, so it can be more or less difficult for each run. In some cases, it can take a really long time for the eye to open, which can kill a decent run. Another concern is missing any shots at the eye. He takes 16 arrows to kill and you only have 20, so each arrow has to count. But all in all, it's a relatively easy final boss, and now that's over, the run is essentially finished. Time is when Link goes up the ladder and the screen goes completely white. And that's a time of 5 minutes and 53 seconds, which for me is a decent run. World record for this run is 4 minutes and 41 seconds. This was probably the best run I'll get for a while, as I've got no intention of trying to get a better time. But that's my run of Link's Awakening. And if you like this episode, hit that like button, share it with everyone you know and love, but most importantly, if you'd like to see other speedruns, subscribe to see more from the series. And if you'd like to learn more about the glitches used in this run, check out episode 45 of Son of a Glitch. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter or like the Facebook page. I post updates and previews to upcoming episodes and keep you in the know. Try it, you might like it.